Welcome to a deep dive. Today we're venturing into First Chronicles chapter 4.
Right.
Now, if you flip through it, you know it looks like a lot of names, genealogies, lists,
It does. Very dense at first glance.
But hidden in there, there's actually some fascinating stuff. Little details, stories, places, even jobs.
Absolutely. It's much more than just a family tree.
So our mission today is to sort of navigate these lists, pull out those interesting bits, and figure out what this old record is really telling us about Judah and Simeon. What do they think was important to remember?
That's the key question, isn't it? These lists weren't just record keeping for its own sake. They were about identity, land, history, who these people were.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Judah gets the lion's share of the chapter, right?
It does. It starts with those foundational guys. Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, Shobal, set in the stage.
But it quickly starts tying names to places, which I found interesting.
Yes, exactly. Like Penuel is linked to Gedor, Ezer to Husha. And her firstborn of Ephrathah, he's called the father of Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. Okay, so that's a huge connection right there. It grounds the lineage geographically.
Precisely. It's not abstract. And you see it again with Rei and his line, Jahath, Ahumai, Lahad. They're called the clans of the Zorathites.
Tied to Zor. So it's showing these family groups and where they lived, mapping the tribe almost.
Right. Crucial for understanding how they were organized, where their territory was, and it gets more complex than just father-son lists.
How so?
Well, take Ashur, the father of Tekoa. The text mentions his two wives, Hela and Nera,
Oh, right. I saw that.
and it lists the sons from each wife separately. Nara had Ahozam, Hefer, Temeni, Hahashtari. Hela had Zereth, Zohar, Ethnan.
So it's showing these more complex family structures right in the genealogy.
It is. It reflects the reality of family life back then. And you get more groups listed, like the sons of Edom, Jezreel, Ishma, Idbash, and it even names their sister, Hazelaponi.
Naming the sister feels significant, too.
It suggests her importance, perhaps, or a specific reason her line or connection mattered. The record is quite detailed in parts.
Okay, so we're getting names, places, family structures, and then the flow just stops.
Yeah, it breaks completely.
For this short story about someone named Jabez.
This is probably the most famous bit from the chapter because it's so different. He's called more honorable than his brothers.
And his name. It comes from pain.
Right. His mother says, I gave birth to him in pain. That's what Jabez means. It's quite a start in life.
But then he prays, and the text gives us the exact words.
It does. Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain. Very direct, very personal.
We're on the most amazing part.
And God granted his request. Just like that. It's stated as fact.
Why stick that story right in the middle of all these names?
Well, it seems to highlight something else that was valued, beyond just lineage or land. Personal faith, piety, God's direct intervention in someone's life. These were also part of the tribal story worth remembering. It's a powerful example.
It really is. A moment of personal faith captured in this huge tribal record. Okay, so after Jabez, we go back to the lists.
We do. More Judah lineages. Caleb's line leads to Eshton and Eshton's sons, including Tahina, father of Ir-Nahash. And these guys are called the men of Reka.
Another place link. Men of Reka.
Yep, reinforcing that connection. But then we start getting hints about what people did, occupations.
Oh, yeah? Where's that?
Look at the sons of Kenaz, Othniel and Sariah. Sariah is the father of Joab, who's the father of Geharashim.
Hey, Harishing.
And the text tells you why it's called that. Because people were craftsmen.
Craftsman. Okay, that's a different kind of detail. Not just who you are, but what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It tells us about the skills and economy within that part of the tribe. We also get Caleb, son of Jephunneh's line listed, and the sons of Jehalalel, more branches.
And then there's another really detailed family structure mentioned with Mer.
Ah, yes, the sons of Ezra. Merit is fascinating. The text explicitly says he had a Judean wife and also...
Pharaoh's daughter, Bethia.
Right. That's a huge detail. An Egyptian princess married into the tribe of Judah.
That suggests some serious high-level connections, maybe political or social.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the record meticulously lists the children from both wives.
Yeah.
The Judean wife had Miriam, Shammai, Ishba, the father of Eshtemoa,
Okay.
and Bithia, Pharaoh's daughter, was the mother of Jared, father of Gedor, Heber, father of Soko, and Jekuthiel, father of Zanoah. Different places associated with them, too.
Wow. So it's tracking lineage through international marriage. That's incredibly specific.
It shows the complex interactions happening. Israel wasn't living in a bubble. This marriage is a concrete example recorded right in their tribal history.
It really brings the social dynamics to life. What else? If we see Hodiah's wife mentioned.
Yes, sister of Nahum, connected to Keel the Garmite and Eshtemoa the Maacathite. Again, place and lineage intertwined. More names follow Shimon's sons, Ishi's descendants.
But there's more about occupations too, isn't there? Something about linen.
Yes. The sons of Shelah, another son of Judah. The line goes through and Lada, and then it mentions the clans of the linen workers at Beth Ashbea.
Linen workers. So specific skills, again, tied to a specific place, Beth Ashbea.
It paints a picture of specialized industries within the tribe. First craftsmen, now linen workers.
It's giving the tribe some economic texture. And there are others mentioned too. Joachim, the men of Kozeba.
And Joash and Seraph, who apparently ruled in Moab and Jashubi-Lehem. That's interesting, ruling outside Judah proper.
And the text adds that note. These records are from ancient time.
Right, acknowledging the sources. Like they're saying, this isn't new information, this goes way back. It adds authority.
And one more job title pops up at the end of the Judah section.
The potters, yes.
Yeah.
Living in Etam and Gedera. And the key detail.
They stayed there and worked for the king.
Exactly.
All right.
And not just independent artisans, but royal employees. It suggests a level of state organization. Royal workshops, perhaps.
So craftsmen, linen workers, potters, some working for the king. It's a much richer picture than just names.
Definitely. It shows a functioning society with specialized labor connected to royal power.
Okay, so that covers Judah pretty thoroughly. Then the focus shifts.
To Simeon, the other southern tribe.
Starts predictably with the main sons. Nemuel, Jamin, Jarib, Zerah, Shaul, and lists later generations.
Like Shalom, Mibsam, Mishma. Standard genealogy format.
But then there's that interesting comment about their population size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About Shimei. He had 16 sons and 6 daughters. Sounds like a lot. But his brothers didn't have many kids. And the result, the text states their whole clan did not become as numerous as the people of Judah.
That's like a mini census report embedded in the list, explaining why Simeon was smaller.
It provides crucial context for their history, why they were often overshadowed by Judah, or why their territory seems absorbed by Judah's later on. It's history and demographics rolled into one.
Fascinating. And like Judah, we get a big list of Simeon's towns.
A very specific list. Beersheba, Malada, Hazar Shual, Bilhah, Azim, Tolad, goes on. Hormah, Ziklag.
Beth Markaboth, Hazar Susim, Beth Biri, Sharam. It really maps out their territory.
And it gives a time frame. These were their towns until the reign of David.
Another historical marker. So this settlement pattern predates the major kingdom period under David.
Right. It also lists the surrounding villages, Etam, Ain, Rimmon, Token, Shran, and out to Baloth, defining their space. And then there's that important note again.
They kept a genealogical record.
Just like Judah. It emphasizes how vital these records were for tribal identity and claims. This wasn't casual remembering, it was systematic documentation.
The Simeon section then lists leaders too, right? Meshobab, Jamlech, Josha. Quite a few names.
Yes, identify the leading families or individuals. But it doesn't stop there. It talks about what they did.
Like moving.
Exactly. Their families grew, they needed more pasture, so they went looking east of the valley, near Gedor.
Practical reasons. Resource needs driving expansion.
And the land they found sounds ideal. Rich, good pasture, spacious, peaceful, and quiet. But there's a catch.
Someone else was there first. Some Hamites had lived there formerly.
Right. Which sets up the next event, recorded, under King Hezekiah, much later than David.
The Simeonites moved in forcefully, attacked the Hamites and Munites.
And the text is blunt. They completely destroy them, as is evident to this day, claiming the land through conquest.
And the reason given.
Purely practical, because there was pasture for their flocks. It's a justification narrative for their settlement there.
Wow. That's quite a story to include. And there's one more military action.
Yes, towards the end. 500 Simeonites, leaders named Pelatiah, Neriah, Raphael, Uziel, they go into the hill country of Seir.
And what happens there?
They attack the Amalekites who were still there, the survivors, kill them off.
Mm-hmm.
And they have lived there to this day.
Again to this day. Connecting past conquest to the present situation, explaining why Simeonites were in Seir.
It shows Simeon wasn't passive. They were actively fighting for and securing territory, even much later in their history.
Okay, so stepping back from all these details, the names, places, jobs, wives, prayers, conquests, what's the big picture here? What does 1 Chronicles 4 as a whole tell us?
Well, it tells us that for these tribes, identity was woven from many threads. Lineage was foundational, yes, but so was territory, knowing your place, claiming it, sometimes fighting for it.
And skills mattered too. The craftsmen, the linen workers, the potters.
Absolutely. Their contributions were part of the record. Family structures, even complex ones with international ties, were documented. And crucially, moments of faith like Jabez's prayer and moments of historical action like the conquests were preserved.
So it's not just who you were, but where you belonged, what you did, who you married, how you related to God, and the significant things your tribe accomplished.
Exactly. It's a composite sketch grounding their present identity in a carefully curated past. They're saying this is who we are, this is where we came from, this is what defines us. Lineage, land, labor, faith, and power.
It really makes you think about what details we choose to remember about ourselves, our families, our communities today. What makes it into our records?
It's a great point. This ancient chapter, which looks so dry on the surface, is actually buzzing with life, with the things that matter to these people.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. If someone centuries from now looked back at the records of your life, your family, your community, what details would be there? And would they capture what truly defined you?